Guaranteed priority service slots. Today we got 3 slots back to back. I'll put the screenshots and give the evidence. Also, I will discuss some of these points when I am sharing the evidence as knowledge sharing. So the first point I'm going to talk about is, can you reduce the salary of a migrant worker? In which cases you can. That's my first point. Second point about fee waiver and then switching to skilled worker. What are the implications? And the third point, what you should report, what you should not through the sponsor management system. Is there a concept of over reporting or under reporting? To begin with, I'll put the screenshot of today's 3 priority slots. The first one that came, priority slots for cost allocation. I know people are writing to us asking for a priority slot for a 10-year long residence ILR. That is not something that I'm talking about over here. This is where employers have requested a cost allocation or any changes to the sponsor management system which can be prioritized. The standard processing time is 8 weeks, and with this service, what we do is we ask for the priority slot, which is very difficult to get. We have a system in place how we are getting these slots. I will put the first evidence and then talk rather. So the first one came at 7:49 today's date, and 7:49 you'll see the screenshot. Okay, so I was talking about priority slots. So priority slots is for allocations. That is the first, that is the one that is in demand. Almost 90% of those priority slots that any employers are requesting are for cost allocations, either for extensions, new visa applications, anything and everything. And they are for undefined causes for applications from inside the UK only. So that is the first screenshot that you saw, and I will talk about the salary decrease. That's what I said, information sharing. So I think I was speaking to one of the clients today, and what the employer has done is it was an extension of an individual who was under the transitional provisions. So transitional provisions apply when the person's first cause was assigned before 4th of April 2024. So that was the situation. They extended it, but they thought that they have to give 41,700 minimum salary. They didn't want to give it, but yeah, I think that's what they raised it to. And the query was, can they reduce it down to 31,300? And yes, my answer was yes, you can do it, because as per the rules, that particular migrant employee was only required to be given a minimum of 31,300 to qualify for the extension, because he was under the transitional provisions and doing that medium skilled role. So yes, that can be done, and the reporting can be done. That was the answer. So I thought of sharing that answer if it helps anyone else. Now I will put the second screenshot on the screen. The second approval, total 3 we got today. The first was at 7:49, which I've already shared. The second one came at 8:41 a.m. I'll put the screenshot now and today's date. Anyone wants to investigate, so that is the evidence that I'm showing. These are real emails of priority slots that have come from Home Office. And also, we don't charge anything upfront, so you're not paying just for us to apply. We will apply on your behalf, and then once we get it, only then you are liable to pay our fees of £299. That is our service fee to obtain the priority slot. And we don't need to be listed as legal reps on your license. I know many clients have queried that. We get several emails where people have asked whether we need to be legal reps on the license. No, we don't have to do that. We are already qualified. So I'm myself qualified level 3 immigration advisor with the IA, Immigration Advice Authority. So I do appeals, applications, everything. So we are authorized to make the priority slot request on behalf of the employers, sponsors. So second thing which I wanted to discuss, is it possible to switch from the fee waiver directly to skilled worker? No, that is not possible. If you try to, because last year or more than a year now, the fee waiver guidance has been changed. When you apply for the fee waiver, you tell them that I'm going to file this human rights, private life, some application that is under the human rights, family root, private life, etc. If you don't file that application, then as per the guidance, your skilled worker application will be rejected. So that is the second thing I wanted to cover. I will put the third screenshot now with the priority slot. So this is the third approval which came at 10:54 a.m. 10:54 and today's date. So you can research that screenshot. Any investigations you want to do, it is real and all. Everything is on the screen. And I will talk on the third point, which is about reporting. So as I always say, I've made several videos on reporting on the sponsor management system. Any reporting that has to be done, whether maternity leave, salary reduction, as I said in the previous example. So everything has to be reported. So there is no concept as over reporting in sponsor license area or over reporting on the SMS, sponsor management system. If you feel some change has happened, if you're not sure, you can report it. If Home Office doesn't care about, they will ignore that reporting. So I just one example, someone was asking me on some of the channels, I think they asked me that the individual is going, the employer asked me, individual is going on maternity leave, but they will still be paid the normal salary. I didn't know what the reasons and all are, but the point was individual is going on maternity leave, still the full salaries are paid. I'm not sure what is the real arrangement and all, but anything you're not sure, it's better to over report. That's what I advise to the employer, always report, because sometimes things may match from other laws, employment laws, etc., etc. Something may come to light and that may be a problem. So you may not have followed some other law or somewhere it's somewhere. So it's always good to report anything in this situation or any situation for that matter. If you're not sure, always report. So whether the person is without pay for short period or anything of like that, always report it. So if Home Office doesn't care, it doesn't affect as per the immigration rules or the sponsor guidance. If it doesn't affect anything, Home Office is just going to ignore that. They are not going to penalize you just because you said something or informed something that they did not need to know, which was unnecessary. So they're going to ignore that. So that is the third point, and I think this was the third screenshot. And if you do want priority slots, there is the link in the description. You can fill up the form. It takes about 3 minutes, 2 3 minutes for you to fill up the form. We need about 4 or 5 pieces of information: sponsor license number, sponsor license name, authorizing officer's name, yeah, and the type of request. Give that one correctly, in year or annual, whatever you've done, or give a screenshot of that page which shows outstanding request. It will say requested allocation, request cost cash allocation, and it will show outstanding. So that's one. Or it will say annual allocation requested and that is pending. So one or the other, you can give the screenshot of that SMS also. You can attach to that particular form or email it to us. And also the license summary page, if you can attach that. If not, at least fill up the form and provide the information correctly. If you give all the information correct, almost I would say more than 95% chances we are able to get the slot within 24 hours. So I think these three also, they were filled by yesterday only by the individuals, and we got them slots today. And worst case scenario, maybe about 2 to 3 working days, between 24 hours to 72 hours, we should be able to get the slot. So that's it, and thank you very much for listening to me.